time. So thank you all for joining us tonight. We appreciate everybody being here. The purpose of this presentation is to give our community information about sexual assault, give information about services available for sexual assault survivors, give information from the Sheriff's Department about what it is like to report a sexual assault and how that process goes, and give information from the Prosecuting Attorney's Office about what to expect from a court proceeding from a sexual assault. And then we have our licensed clinical social worker from SAFE San Juans that is going to present information on childhood sexual assault and warning signs. So just a few housekeeping rules before we start. We do not have the question and answer on. If you do have a question throughout the webinar, please put it into the chat box. I will be doing my best to keep track of all of those questions. We will not be answering questions during the presentation. We will be waiting till the last presenter is finished before we open it up for questions. We will not be answering any questions tonight that are discussing any actual cases or incidents in San Juan County. If you have any questions about a case in general, you will need to call that agency directly. We will not be answering those questions here. Our presenters tonight are going to be Samantha Graham, who is, like I said, a licensed clinical social worker. She's from SAFE San Juans. We have Ray Harvey and Lucas Peters from the San Juan County Sheriff's Office. They're both detectives. We have Teresa Barnett, who is the Senior Deputy Prosecuting Attorney for San Juan County. And then we also have our tech guy on the line, Isaac Berg. Just wanted to give a shout out to him. He will be providing tech and security for our meeting tonight. So with all of that being said, oh, I forgot one more thing. So to ask a question at the end of the last presenter, you will need to use the raise hand feature. So the raise hand feature is at the bottom of your screen. If you just click on it, I will unmute you in order to ask the question. Again, thank you all for joining us. And Samantha, I'll let you go ahead and take it away.
All right, thanks, Courtney. I'm going to attempt to share my screen. Maybe I can't. I think, Courtney, you're going to have to do it. And while she's doing that, I'll just say a little bit more about myself. I am, as Courtney said, a licensed clinical social worker. I've been a therapist and a community advocate at SAFE San Juans for the past 6 years. And I've been working, providing services to survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault during that time. And I love my job and I love the clients that I work with, and they inspire me every single day. And I'm just happy to be here and to be able to share some more information with the community and just seeing what we can do to work on this issue and being able to help those that we can. All right. So we're starting off with basically defining what is childhood sexual assault, because I'm going to just kind of review what it is and what are some of the signs that we can look out for from the childhood sexual assault perspective. I think you go to view. Yeah, slideshow. Thanks. Perfect. All right. So next slide. So according to the Wait, go back. Sorry. I was getting things. Can you go back one? Technical difficulties.
Do I have the right presentation, Samantha?
Yeah.
Okay, just making.
I just had to move something around on my screen to be able to see it correctly. Sorry. All right, thank you. So according to RAIN, which is the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, childhood sexual assault is a form of child abuse that involves sexual activity with a minor, and this may or may not include physical contact. And this can include things such as intercourse, exposing oneself, fondling, masturbation in the presence of a minor, explicit phone calls, texting, or other digital interactions, which of course can include like things on social media, viewing or producing any kind of pornographic images, such as child pornography, or viewing porn in the presence of a child, and any other sexual conduct that is harmful to a child's emotional, mental, or physical well-being. Now we're going to review some signs that you can look for in the children in your life, just to see if maybe they may have been experiencing sexual assault. And just because something may not be listed on some of the signs that we're going through, if you notice anything that may feel off or feel different in the children in your life, that's still a great time to start a conversation just to see what may be going on in their lives. You know the children in your lives best. And so just being able to notice what may feel different and just being able to have an open conversation between them and you is just so important to be able to prevent sexual assault and other numerous things that could be happening in their lives. So some physical signs that children may report to you or that you may want to watch out for is they may report some bleeding, bruising, or swelling, especially in the genital area or the breast. They may report that it's painful to sit or walk. There may be frequent UTI or yeast infections, especially in young girls. They may report that there's pain, itching, or burning in the genital area. They may also experience more frequent headaches and a compromised immune system, so getting ill more often, and also experience more nausea or vomiting as their bodies are trying to deal with the trauma that they're facing. Some emotional signs that you may notice in children who are being sexually abused is they may experience feelings of depression, sadness, or numbness. They may experience hypervigilance, so feeling more like on alert or have more of that startle reflex. They may have more suicidal thinking, so maybe reporting to you that either they want to die or maybe that they don't want to be alive anymore. Having more recurrent nightmares, experiencing panic attacks or more of increased anxiety. They may have feelings of anger or rage that come out and more frequent mood swings throughout the day. Some behavioral signs to be aware of could be changes in hygiene. So children may refuse to bathe or maybe bathing excessively, like 5 or 6 times a day. They may start to struggle in school, whether that be academically or socially. They may exhibit more like regressive behavior, such as not acting more like younger than their age really is, such as doing thumb sucking. They may start carrying stuffed animals everywhere with them or bedwetting. They may start running away, whether that be from school or from like maybe a caretaker's house or from home, just because they may not feel safe there anymore. They may also engage in self-harm, whether that be cutting, burning, or scratching, just a way to get some of the emotional pain out in a physical way. They may also have difficulty focusing, whether that is, as we mentioned, in school or just in conversations with people on a day-to-day basis. And they may also experience changes in appetite or sleep, whether that's eating or sleeping more or less. Some social signs to be aware of is inappropriate sexual behavior or knowledge for their age. So just knowing a bit more than most children their age usually would. They may refer to a new older friend, which is a sign that they may have an older perpetrator in their life or someone who may be grooming them, which we'll talk about a little bit later. They may take on a caretaker role with siblings or friends, which is a way to make sure that the people that are close to them won't get abused, as well as feeling a bit more in control in that way. They may be uncomfortable or threatened by physical contact. So even a touch on the shoulder or someone trying to go in for a hug, or even just being in like their social physical bubble can feel really uncomfortable for them. They may start to isolate themselves or stop doing activities that they once enjoyed. And they may also start to act out or fight in just a way to handle all the emotions or trauma that is going on inside of them. When we think about who perpetrates sexual assault, 93% of perpetrators are known to the victim and 7% are strangers. So while it is important for us to teach stranger danger to all the children in our lives, it is just as important to teach children about boundaries and about the ability to say no, even when it's to people that maybe the children really like and want to be able to please. But to have those conversations that even when it may be family members or friends, that it is okay to be able to say no to certain things and to be able to come to you, even when it may be people that are in their social circle or in your social circle. And that leads us to grooming. So grooming is manipulative behaviors a perpetrator may use to gain access to potential victims, coerce them to agree to the abuse, and reduce the risk of them being caught. So this can take place in person or online and is usually employed by someone the child and usually adults in our life trust. So online grooming often involves adults that will usually create fake profiles so they can pose as maybe children or teens or just as someone that they're really not, to befriend someone and then gain their trust. And these young people will usually be tricked, coerced, or forced to then send or post sexually explicit images of themselves. They may take part in sexual activities via the webcam or the phone. They may have sexual conversations through text or through online. They may make and send sexual videos of themselves and then eventually meet up with someone that they don't really know in person. And these perpetrators may threaten to share and send these images or videos to families or friends, or just release them on social media in general if they don't take part in their request. And by this point in time, the person may be afraid that they're going to get in trouble. Maybe their family or friends have been threatened, or they may be afraid that their perpetrator is going to get in trouble because they now have this bond with them. And so it becomes a very complex situation where they don't know what exactly to do. So they continue to do more and more and more of these requests. So in-person grooming often involves a perpetrator choosing a child based maybe on their ease of accessibility or their vulnerability. Maybe they're more of a loner, or they may attempt to isolate them from others. They also attempt to develop this trust through sharing secrets, through giving them gifts, and through giving them some special attention. So the child may feel like they have a really caring, special relationship with this person. So perpetrators may start to touch the child in a harmless way at first, such as maybe tickling or hugging, and this will later escalate to more sexual contact. They may also start to discuss sexual topics or show pornography to start to desensitize the child. And perpetrators attempt to make their behavior seem normal to their victims. And as we mentioned, like with online grooming, they start to form this special, like, trusting relationship with them. So they may be afraid to talk to another grown-up, or they feel like they have this more mature relationship with this person, so they don't want to tell other people about what's going on. So it continues to, again, be this complex situation.